Hey guys, welcome to That Game Show, the show that talks about all the stuff in the nerd world and all the stuff in between. I am your host, Chase Bunker. Joining me today, he is the half-Asian sensation. It's Curtis Coe.
Hello, everyone.
And coming to us live from the Charlotte airport, which is why you're hearing a whole bunch of beeping right now, it's Daniel Clegg.
Hi, friends. Sorry about that.
Yep. I can't tell if, I'm
Someone's
censoring.
backing up.
I can't tell if they're beeping because somebody's backing up, or it's I'm already censoring Murph right now and he's not even here. So
No, it's Murph. It's Murph on the card as it's backing up.
oh, okay, just dropping every swear word as it is. All right.
There you go.
Whether you're watching us on YouTube or watching us or listening to us, via podcast, thank you for making us a part of your day, gentlemen. A lot of stuff came out today. Especially a lot of game announcements. You saw XCOM 2 with the announcement trailer. You had stills of what looks to be Dark Souls 3, but that's still not yet confirmed. And, of course, the highly anticipated Fallout 4. So, guys, first off, I guess to me, what made the Fallout 4 trailer so special? Let's start off with Daniel Clegg.
The dog. The dog is awesome.
Says the man that just got a cat.
Okay, that's true. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate a good dog. My apartment just can't house a dog.
All right.
But that dog is adorable. You know, the dog in the previous game was very important, so I'm sure that they're going to play a part in that. And I like the location. It's Boston, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the current thought. Is it's Boston? Have we
Boston.
got confirmation that it's Boston?
I think
I feel like
it is
I've read that
Boston
in 5 different
because
places.
I think that one of the visuals is Fenway Park.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
So
I like the location, and that's super exciting.
Yeah. Curtis, what made the trailer so special?
That music. I heard that music and I was instantly like, yes, Fallout, it's back. For those that haven't played a lot of Fallout 3, there's a song that used to play on the radio is I don't want to catch the world on fire or something. I don't remember. There was some song that was an old-timey kind of song that used to play on the radio in Fallout 3. And it had the music in this game was done by the same band, and it just was really, really nice to hear that music again, kind of see just a very, it invoked the same kind of thought process, and some cool visuals, nothing graphically breaking, I guess is the right, groundbreaking, though,
No,
so that's interesting.
It's using a different engine. It looks very different in my mind from the previous game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't too excited because I haven't played Fallout 3. And what was weird is, I was about to buy Fallout 3 on Steam, but they said, oh, it's incompatible for Windows 7. It's like, how? How can you be incompatible with Windows 7? And then I also found out that Fallout 3 came out in 2008. I did not realize how old this game is. Yeah. And so it's I feel like, well, first I thought New Vegas was also made by Bethesda. I was clearly wrong with that. But it's I feel like everybody, Fallout just kept coming out with stuff and was still relevant. And it came out in 2008. It's holy crap, that's big. The one thing that kind of bothered me was why tell us now when E3 is literally 2 weeks away?
Yeah, a lot of developments are happening the week before E3, which is kind of weird. But I mean, I suppose the majority of the audience doesn't see these leaks. They're waiting for E3. You know, your average gamer doesn't have IGN on their bookmarks and check it 3 times a day like some of us do.
I beg to differ. I think it's mostly to get them to stand out. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of things at E3, and this is just a really good way to get in front of that, get people amped to see stuff like that at E3, like XCOM 2. XCOM was a popular game, but it's not Call of Duty. It's not a new IP by any mark. Neither is Fallout, even though it's a hotly anticipated one. I think it's just a good way to get in front of some of those other games that are going to be the talk of the show, so to speak.
Do you think Bethesda put out Fallout 4 to bring people into their conference to show Dishonored 2?
I think so. I think Dishonored 2 will show up, and I think Doom is the one that they're trying to sell.
Yeah.
I don't need much of a sell on Dishonored 2. I need a sell on Doom.
Yeah, because Doom 3, I played a little bit of it. It was okay, but I feel like when you're a title like Doom, you always expect the best. And with that, it's you had the hassle of flashlight, pistol, flashlight. Yeah. It's we shouldn't have that because all Marines are trained Flashlight, pistol, done. It's like that's the one part that's completely unrealistic. Not the demon spewing out of hell, but the fact that the guy can only do a flashlight and then a pistol, and that's it. Yeah, what did you think about the XCOM trailer?
Oh dear God, thank you. Thank you.
It
This is my
looks
year.
really good.
This is my
a-
year.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of games we're excited about. It's a little concerning though that Aliens 1, I guess.
Clegg, I'm gonna stop you right there. Like, you are very roboty. I'll go to Curtis, and hopefully by that time you'll be not as Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
No, I mean the ending of XCOM, and spoilers. It's kind of, you kind of win, but it wouldn't be so far out of the realm that what happened did not exactly have a positive ending. It would not surprise me if, you know, during the time they came back and they wrecked face, essentially. But like, that's kind of part of XCOM is, if I remember correctly, again, we have a friend who's really big in XCOM lore, is like humans lose. And then they're kind of fighting from, you know, like a resistance front kind of thing. And that's a huge part of the game, and I think they're just trying to bring that into, you know, the next generation.
Yeah, that is very true. Like, I never got into XCOM. It's just like all these games are pretty good. Like, I never got into XCOM because it's like a turn-based, and it's like, I'm not a fan of it. I didn't have at the time, I never had like a shooter or a system powerful enough to run Fallout 3. And then, of course, now I do. It's like, oh, I can get this, that, and the other. So needless to say, I'm not caught up. The Dark Souls 3 image, because I know you two are very big onto Dark Souls.
Yes.
Do you think that actually is like a Dark Souls game, or Dark Souls 3, or do you think this could be something else from Software?
I don't think it's anything else from Software, because I don't see why they would be leaving Dark Souls on the table. The second one did even better than the first one. They have a huge cult following. They've only done better with each subsequent release. Bloodborne has done a lot to put the name From Software in the forefront of gamers' minds. I think it's Dark Souls. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
Am I coming through better?
You were at least a little bit more like I could hear you this time, but you're still like a little bit roboty. So I have a feeling like it could be.
What do you think, Curtis?
I'm not convinced that they're gonna even show it this year. I want them to. That would be awesome. But you know, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. A couple images is not enough to convince me that this is real.
How long has it been Dark Souls 2?
Robot. But I'll jump in, and like this is like their, like, what is it, like their 5th game in like 5 years or 6 years maybe.
Oh, it hasn't been long.
Because it seems like they just keep putting out games, and so it's like, I don't want them to put out Dark Souls because I feel like we just had Bloodborne, we just had Dark Souls 2, we just had Sin of the First Scholar. And it's like, you can take a break. Like, we don't mind if you're taking a break and you're putting out quality, because eventually you're going to run yourself to the ground and start putting out crap. And I don't want that, because I want them to succeed. Even though I don't play Dark Souls, I want them to do well because it was an original IP at the time. Yeah. Granted, I don't want Dark Souls 12, whatever. Like, I want them to do something else besides that. One topic, I'm sorry, Clegg, you just keep getting cut off because you're just so robot-y. And so it's not that we don't value your opinion, it's just that we can't hear your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And now I'm just censoring Murph more as we speak. This is what we get for trying to do a show at an airport. Also, another, before we go on to the next topic, a little brief update. Tampa Bay Comic-Con will be happening July 31st through August 2nd at the Tampa Bay Convention Center. Our panel will be at 5:30 on Friday, July 31st. We'll have the whole gang there. We'll take some of your questions, and we'll do a live recording of the show as well. So you should come, check us out, say hi. We may even give out t-shirts if it's in the budget. So, another topic I want to talk about, because I thought that this was big, was Steam announcing and actually showing off the Steam machine. I think Clegg either got disconnected or muted. I'm gonna go with muted because he's still there.
Mute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good man. You're a good man, Clegg. I appreciate that. They announced the Steam machine. It's going to be $450 for the basic Steam machine, $50 for just the controller itself, which I'm still on. And then you have the Cyber, which which is what? Like, it's,
I don't know.
you plug it into your computer. Like, it's, I don't understand it, but I was talking to Mo Weezy from Geekly, like him and I, like, kind of like this joking banter. What do you think of the Steam machine? We'll talk about what we just mentioned shortly. Curtis.
I think it's okay. I don't think I will end up buying it. I think I can do something very similar for a cheaper price. So to be honest, I'm not really terribly interested at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I have a PC that's more powerful than the machine they're looking at, the base machine. So I don't see a particular use. The controller looks okay, but not great.
Yeah, I don't understand, like, the whole, like, I guess it's a touch screen joystick.
Yeah.
And it's like, my touchscreen on my phone acts up, so I don't know how this is going to respond. So, like, unless this has, like, literally 100%, control, I'm not fully sold on it yet. Clegg, let's see if you can actually talk. What do you think?
I'm not excited about the Steam boxes personally because, unlike you guys, I have a better PC myself. But I think it's a great entry point for those who don't have a high-end PC.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone who's exclusively a console player, only has an Xbox or a PlayStation, and this is the same price essentially. So that's a way to get into PC gaming at a much cheaper price than building your own tower.
I'm just like, I'm not saying that to like mute you. I'm saying that as I'm just going with the beat of this to make it look like I'm censoring. But I completely agree. For those who watch the video, you'll get that. I completely agree with the fact that, I have a decent PC. I can run majority of everything. I think, like, Mel Easy was talking about how he's not going to get it. Like, he's not really big into it because he's a console guy. And it's like, well, the big part of it is that you get the PC gaming experience with the luxury of a Steam sale, which is even glorious. Mm-hmm. But it's, like, it's a good mix. Like, it's a good segue.
No, mix is the right word.
It's like a good mix of, like, console and PC gaming. Now, the one thing that also needs to be very certain is the fact that, like, if we're going to have couch co-op games. So it'd be great if you're doing speedrunners. It'd be great if you're doing Nidhogg. It'd be great if you're doing some of those things. Oh, Battle Block Theater. But it's the fact that, like, a lot of games right now don't have that. So I hope that eventually that game companies will actually start making it. It'll probably come out of the indie sector more than the AAA titles. But I think right now, this is a great transfer from console to PC. It's like not a transfer, it's a good middle point. And I think that's what people need to realize. It literally costs as much as an Xbox and a PS4, Xbox One and PS4. But let's think about this for a second. Could it really be worth actually getting if you're like literally on the fence about a console? Because if you look at the Xbox and PlayStation 4, you don't have much in terms of exclusivity. I really hope I pronounced that word correctly. Exclusive. Yes, okay. You like PC usually has. I'm not gonna say it has the better games because that's very subjective, but I feel like with the PC gaming market, it's a little bit more secure. It's varied, and there's a lot more games to be had on there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
It's a much larger catalog for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
a much more varied pricing available.
Yes, that is also true. And to your point about couch co-op, I've actually found more PC titles that have couch co-op these days than I find console games that have couch co-op. I believe it was the Gauntlet game or something like that. Whatever,
Okay.
the new Gauntlet game, I believe has couch co-op on the PC, which is a little weird, but I mean, I'm seeing it more and more where these games are coming out and they're like, oh yeah, you can plug in 2 controllers and just play on one screen. And you know what? If that's what works, then that's what works.
It's very atypical because PC gaming is typically one person sitting at a desk, doing a solo experience. If there is a hardware system that's mass marketed like the Steam box that is intended to be used on a big screen TV in a living room, you can be sure that developers are going to look at that and say, okay, couch co-op makes sense now. And you're going to see games starting to develop for that market.
Yeah, exactly. the catalog is very expansive, and there's no denying that. I mean, right now, what you're seeing more or less is just like from other consoles. It's not. It's nothing special. Like, I'll be brutally honest. Like, I have no desire to get a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. I'll probably get it when Uncharted comes out, then maybe. And if the new David Cage game comes out only in Xbox, or if it only comes out for PlayStation 4, then yeah. But if it comes out for PC, I literally see no point in me getting it unless I'm playing Uncharted 4. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the one thing that the markets are slowly dying down on.
Can I bring up one more thing that I don't think we mentioned? They also announced their streaming box, which is the one product I'm most interested in, where you plug the box into your TV and it streams from your computer.
Is that the Cyber?
No, that's not the right word. Link, maybe? I don't have.
I think you're right. I think it's the Steam Link.
That sounds right.
But that's what I'm most excited about, if it delivers the low latency, lag-free streaming process at 1080p that they're talking about. I haven't tried it, but the reviews have been decent so far.
I would not bet your money on it unless you have a super high-end wireless system. I'm pretty. If it works the way I think it works, it's probably running on Wi-Fi.
It is, yes.
It is. So it's completely dependent on your Wi-Fi system. If you have a good Wi-Fi system, it's going to run great. If you have a really terrible Wi-Fi system, it's going to run like crap.
I feel like they need to have I think they have a wired jack in there, which is more secure than anything. Like I'm on Wi-Fi now, and I hate that I'm on Wi-Fi because I prefer wired. Because my Wi-Fi can just go out just like that, but wired is a nice steady connection throughout.
Yeah.
I like what they're overall. I like what they're doing. I feel like right now it's a step up from what the other consoles are doing, and I think this could be the start of something even greater, and I hope it is, because let's face it, like, they're good. Like, it's good. Like, flat, it's just good. Did you guys watch the Battleborn trailer yet?
I did. It has a very Overwatch sort of feel to it. I feel like 2K and Blizzard were developing these two very similar games with somewhat similar art styles at the same time. It looks good.
It does. I'm excited for it. Like, I feel like this could be. I feel like it's gonna have the quirkiness of Borderlands, but it's gonna have like the action like Overwatch. Granted, we haven't played Overwatch yet, but
now, for my reference, Battleborn is a first-person shooter MOBA from Gearbox.
Unless it literally just switched on us last minute, and
you got it.
Okay.
Team Fortress or Overwatch from Blizzard.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Or Smite even, although not with the abilities.
No. I understand the general idea behind it. I was just making sure I understood what the idea.
And you're right, Chase. It did have a sort of Borderlands 2 graphical feel to it. I don't think it was cell shaded exactly.
It wasn't cell shaded, but it wasn't like
similar.
Ultra realistic either.
It was
very cartoony.
Yeah, cartoony is the right word.
All right. So, final topic, because Clegg has a flight soon. I guess this is gonna be the week we're traveling, because I'm going off to LA this week. So yay. Well, that'll be details in another video. Final topic. Heroes of the Storm has officially gone live, and the reviews are, like every Blizzard game, actually it's not like Blizzard game, it's down. Guys, what do you think of Heroes of the Storm? With its very simplistic look, no items on the MOBA, there's a whole bunch of different skill trees, but it's a different outlook. But why do you think the ratings are so low? Curtis?
Oh, you're going to make me do this?
I'm going to make you do this.
I do not hate Heroes of the Storm, okay? I enjoy the game sometimes. I think it has some exceedingly severe balancing issues.
Which, in turn, I'll play devil's advocate. When we played League, like when it came out on beta, there was still like a lot of balancing issues on that.
And to be fair, even
Jax
now,
the beta,
Jax. Oh my gosh. Even now,
Shaco,
League has some pretty severe issues in terms of balancing and so on and so forth. I think Heroes of the Storm is going to be around for a while. I don't think it will nearly be as successful as League of Legends. I don't think it
Or
has that
Dota 2.
or Dota 2, excuse me. I don't think it has that quite that strategic um, play in some ways. Um, I think it's an interesting game. I think it becomes one-sided really quick though, which kind of can get very agitating. I like some of the maps, but I hate that pirate map
Me
with a
too.
burning passion. Um, I mean, I don't hate the whole game. I just think there's some issues with matchmaking and some other issues. I also think that the amount of gold you get for a win is pretty garbage.
Clegg.
I agree with a few points. I think the price of champions and skins and mounts and your gold income are all Blizzard style and price. Everything is really expensive, and you don't earn money very fast. I mean, that's kind of to be expected from a company that has such a high standard for quality. But it is a little disheartening when you realize, hey, I got 10 gold for that game. How much do I need? 10,000? Okay, all right, that's going to take a while. I agree. There's some balancing stuff, and the matchmaking is not that fantastic, but it's early on, so that's kind of to be expected for a game that came out officially like last week. So I think that's easily fixed. What I do like is the core systems of the game, where it doesn't involve gold or item purchases, and it's more about individual champions having these skill trees.
Yes.
I think people in general don't like it because it is different from the two big guys in that game. League of Legends and Dota 2 are essentially the same in several categories. Their primary map is almost identical. Champions are all very similar. They all have this gold to then gold purchase items to boost your character system. And it's very complicated and difficult to learn and complex, which adds a lot of gameplay depth. And this game has none of that. And I think that throws people off.
Yeah. First off, tell the person that just sneezed or coughed, bless you. Secondly, I feel like I like Heroes of the Storm's idea of making it very simplistic because, I mean, you guys can definitely attest to this with me. It took me a very, very long time for me to actually, like, be decent at a MOBA. And, like, it's very hard to get into, especially when you have to find a champion that you like. The one thing I like that Heroes of the Storm did is, like, it was originally taken from a game called Demigod, where you have different skills at different times, where it's like, oh, this could do this could do that. And I thought it was a brilliant idea. And I felt like if Demigod had, like, more champions and more diversity, that would have actually been a good game to actually combat League of Legends and Dota. But it didn't, and it eventually fell off the wayside. But there's no items. It's a very simplistic MOBA game. I like its simplicity. It's a good intro into MOBAs. But the problem is, it's the biggest problem for me is, like, besides the balancing issues, it's the maps. I can't stand majority of the maps because the fact that, like, I want to win based off combat. I don't want to win because I just got lucky and happened to, like, be on a point that happens to res some sort of champion. I like the idea, but it's like it gets very one-sided very quickly. And I think
you highlighted the exact difference in a game like League and a game like Heroes. One of them is very combat and skill based. That's League of Legends.
Yes.
If you win team fights, you will win the game. In Heroes, you can lose plenty of team fights, but if you are doing point control and objectives for the map, which is different because there are 7 or 8 maps in that game, that is the key to victory.
Yeah.
So it's a different mentality for sure, and I suppose some players might enjoy and respect one aspect of the game over the other. Maybe a player isn't technically as skilled as you are in controlling the champion and executing the skill shots and whatnot, but if they are aware of the map and are able to stand on point at the right time, that's a different sort of skill in being having map awareness. So you're right, very, very different, but I think they're smart in that they're trying to target a different audience and be different from these established games. Because let's be honest, it's too late to really challenge League of Legends.
it is. I don't want to say it's too late because Dota 2 came in like a few years later, and it's bringing up a good market. The one plus side for Heroes of the Storm is that I like the fact that they do have multiple maps. I mean, let's face it, League's been out since what, 2007, 2008,
Ooh, a long time.
and it's like, and it's still Summoner's Rift. No one plays Dominion anymore. Barely anybody play ARAM. Oh yeah, they have Twisted Tree Line. That's
technically 4. They technically have 4.
Twisted Tree Line sucks. It's a giant spider. I hate it.
Uh,
But it's the fact that, like, you know, their best modes are when they break the game, and it's like I don't know. It's
I agree with you.
I feel like I want League to make more maps, and I feel like they'll be more relevant. Another thing I want to point out real quick: when League first came out, it also got a relatively mediocre score, and it changed over time. So let's not be too quick. Granted, I posted the question, but we can't be too quick to say that Heroes of the Storm is a bad game, but they really need to work out a few kinks here and there. All right, so that will be it for today's really short episode. Holy crap. Make sure you can follow me on Twitter at Chase Bunker, or you can follow the show on Twitter at @that_game_show. You can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/thatnewshowshow. Also, make sure you follow Murph on Twitter at Dork Night Show. Check out his podcast Dork Night as well. I feel like I had something important to say. Oh, watch the Grant Kirkhope interview, the composer of Banjo-Kazooie and Yooka-Laylee. We actually had a conversation. It was awesome. And Murph even retweeted it. Considering how often he goes on Twitter, that's a big deal. So, I don't think I forgot anything else. Check out our other videos and see what else we have done. We'll hopefully have more Let's Plays in the future. So, for Curtis Coe, Daniel Clegg. Oh, by the way, watch us on letsplaysociety.com. We're actually on that. I know, it's weird. So, for Curtis Coe and Daniel Clegg, I am Chase Bunker. Have a good rest of your week, and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Well, bye, Clegg. Have fun at your flight. He didn't even say bye, dick.